Hello and welcome to my porch. My name is Roy. I am a home cook and amateur baker, and I am here on this channel typically sharing recipes that have helped me to lose over 125 pounds, whether those recipes are mine or someone else's. Now today I'm on the porch, so that means it's a tag. This is another Halloween tag from Sandy over at Let's Get Fit with Sandy. And surprise, surprise, I was tagged by Kim over at A Girl and Her Phone. And those of you who have been waiting for the fall colors, there was a little bit in the last tag, but now it's really starting to come out. So hope you enjoy. Next week's should be even more so, unless they've all fallen off by then. You can never tell, it's New England. So today is a Would You Rather Halloween tag. Sandy came up with a group of questions for each week, all related to Halloween. So next week will be the third and final Halloween tag for this season. So I love the Halloween tags because if you know me, you know I love Halloween. So let's get into it. Number one, would you rather watch monster movies, slasher movies, or Halloween-friendly movies? My answer to that is yes. I don't have a preference. I love them all. I love Hocus Pocus. I love Nightmare Before Christmas. I love the Annabelle movies, the Conjuring movies. I love old monster movies. I'm here for all of it. But I guess I have to choose one because this is a would you rather. I'd have to say I have a fondness in my heart having grown up with them. I would probably go for a slasher movie just because Freddy Krueger, Jason Voorhees from Friday the 13th, Michael Myers, which reminds me, I'm going to go watch the new Halloween movie after I'm done with this tag. That's my thing. I grew up with that. I love monster movies and I love the family-friendly, fun movies, but I just have a fondness in my heart for slashers. So I'm going slasher. When you were younger, would you rather climb trees or rake leaves for money? I know this will come as a shock to many of you, but I was not a very boy. I wasn't climbing trees and catching frogs and doing all those things boys are supposed to do. I was usually in my room reading. And I definitely, when I was younger, was always trying to find ways to make money. I used to sell, there were some greeting cards, like you got it through comic books or something that you could go sell greeting cards. I tried that. I tried whatever I could to make money. If I had the choice of climbing trees or raking leaves to make money, I'm going for the money. I'm going for raking leaves. Even if there was no money involved. I'd rather rake the leaves, play in the leaves, jump in the leaves, than climb trees. It's just not my thing. I'm not a person who likes heights to begin with, so even if I climbed a tree, I wouldn't get very far. Would you rather sit by a fire pit or a fireplace? This is slightly tough. Not tough, but I have pros and cons for both. I love sitting around a fire pit, but I hate being outside with the bugs, acorns that could drop on your head and kill you. But I like the coziness of being inside with a nice warm fireplace if it's really cold outside. Because I tend to run warmer than most people, or at least warmer than Paul. We are often in conflict. If he's comfortable, I am sweating. And if I'm comfortable, he's freezing. So I think I would go for the fire pit just because, just because I like the cozy sitting around the fire and whatever, just that whole atmosphere. I like them both, but I think I would there's something about sitting around the fire, and it might go back to having lived on the reservation where we would sometimes sit out around a fire. But I think I would go with the fire pit as long as there were either no bugs or I had lots of bug spray. Number 4, would you rather be surrounded by black cats or owls? I'm not especially superstitious, so the black cats don't bother me. And I'm sorry, Kim, but I love owls in pictures and little things, but they kind of creep me out a little bit if I was like sitting here face to face with one and they're turning their heads all. I think I would go with the black cats, just because I don't mind owls in theory and in decoration. I love them, but in real life I'm a little more iffy. Black cats I have a little more, or at least cats in general, I have a little bit more history with, so I'm going black cats. 5, would you rather have a still, silent night or a rainy, windy night? Rainy, windy night every time, and if it's a thunderstorm, I am in heaven. I love, it's so cozy. I used to sit out on a porch. I know I'm bouncing from thing to thing. I used to sit out, I had in an apartment I had in Connecticut when I was younger, I had this screened-in porch with a couch on it. I would go sit out there in thunderstorms and just, I love that. I would read. It's so comforting to me. My grandmother, my maternal grandmother, on the other hand, she used to hide in the bathroom when there were thunderstorms because she did not like them. So I don't know where I got my love for thunderstorms, but I love rainy, windy weather. That just thrills me. 6, would you rather play on a Ouija board or tell ghost stories around a fire? Now, if you saw last week's tag, you know I've had a bad experience with Ouija boards. So I'm going to go with the ghost stories around the fire. I love to tell a good ghost story, and as I've mentioned before in these tags, I started when I was little. I was maybe 7 or 8, and I would tell my brothers scary stories. They would go right to sleep, and I'd be crying for my mother because I had scared myself. So I would go for the ghost stories around a fire anytime, especially after that incident in last week's tag. And if you didn't see that, go find out what I'm talking about. 7, would you rather be trapped in a scary basement or a scary attic? See, either one is tough for me. Like, we have an attic here that I won't go into because squirrels have gotten into it and other critters. And it just freaks me out that I would go up there and find some critter crawling around. But we've had problems with mice in the basement, and I do not do mice, do not do rats, do not do any, I don't even do hamsters. So of the two, for some reason, the feeling of the basement feels more dark and dingy, and the attic may have at least a little window and some light. So I think I'm going with the attic. Basement is more likely to be dark and dank, and yeah, I'd rather be up in the scary attic. Don't tell Paul, he'll tell me to start going up in the attic now. Would you rather be the monster or the villain in a scary movie? I'm assuming it means a monster or a villain in a scary movie. I was expecting it to be like the villain or the hero or whatever. I'd rather be a villain. Like Freddy Krueger, love him. I used to quote his little quips all the time. I did for Halloween one year, years ago when we had answering machines, I did a recording of myself and clips of Freddy Krueger talking to make an answering machine message. I had a lot of time on my hands. Yeah, not like a monster like Frankenstein or something, no. Dracula, I wouldn't mind being a vampire, but I'd love to play the villain in a horror movie. Number 9, would you rather smell rotting pumpkin guts or rotten eggs? Pumpkin guts a million times over. Rotten eggs have that sulfuric smell that I can't deal with. Rotting pumpkin doesn't really have that strong of a smell to me, so that wouldn't bother me. And number 10, the final question. Would you rather eat sweet pumpkin seeds or salty pumpkin seeds? Salty, hands down. I don't even think I've ever had sweet pumpkin seeds. Actually, a sweet and salty pumpkin seed might be interesting, like a pumpkin spice pumpkin seed. Huh. There's probably recipes for that somewhere online. I'm sure I could finagle it to make it lower in bites or points. I'm going to have to look into that. I've never actually had sweet pumpkin seeds, but I love salty pumpkin seeds. I love the crunch. I love the flavor. I love how it dries out my mouth because I've eaten so many. So yeah, I'm going with salty, but I am going to look into that sweet and salty thing. I may have to do something with that. So that is the tag for this Halloween week. I am thankful to Sandy for coming up with these questions, much easier than last week, although I still tend to get long-winded whether they're easy or not, so go figure. And thank you to Kim for tagging me over at A Girl in Her Phone. And of course, you know who I'm tagging. I'm tagging Jenn Steve, Mr. and Mrs. Chaos, over at Embracing Chaos with Jen. So if you liked this tag, I hope you'll give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't and you are looking for recipes that can help you on a weight loss journey. And we may be getting some sweet and salty pumpkin spice, pumpkin seeds maybe? Who knows? But hit the notification bell for the next time I upload any sort of video, especially if it's that one. And comment down below what your responses to some of these would you rather questions are. And you can follow me over on social media. My handle for Instagram is here, as well as the 2 Facebook groups I'm part of. There is Recipes with Roy, which is mine, and then Finding Our Way, W-E-I-G-H, which I co-admin with Jennifer Lynn from the Jennifer Lynn channel, and Bree Coleman from Balancing Life with Bree. So that does it for this tag. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you will be coming back for the next one. Until then, bye.